Hi everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. This is Nishchita from Sri Venkateshwara College of Engineering, Bangalore. Here I am going to explaining about the subject Basic Electronic of topic Bridge Rectifier. Let's move on to what are the contents are there in Bridge Rectifier. Introduction, what is Bridge Rectifier, circuit diagram, working and principle, advantages and disadvantages, application. Let's move on to introduction about the bridge rectifier. A bridge rectifier circuit is a common part of the electronic power supplies. Many electronic circuits require rectified DC power supplies for powering the various electronic basic components from available AC main supplies. We can find this rectifier in a wide variety of electronic AC power devices like home appliances, motor controllers, modulation processes, welding applications, etc. Next, what is bridge rectifier? A bridge rectifier is an alternating current to direct current converter. Bridge rectifier rectifies means AC input to DC output. Bridge rectifiers are widely used in power supplies. It provides necessary DC voltage for the electronic components or devices. Next, bridge rectifier can be constructed with four or more diodes or any other controlled solid-state switches. Depending on the load current requirements, a proper bridge rectifier is selected. Next, types of the bridge rectifier. Bridge rectifiers are classified into several types based on their factors. Types of supply, controlling capability, bridge circuits, configurations, etc. Bridge rectifiers are mainly classified into single and three-phase rectifiers. Both these types are further classified into uncontrolled, off-controlled, and full controlled rectifiers. This is shows that a bridge rectifier circuit diagram. Next, we move on about the bridge rectifier circuit diagram. Let's first stage of the circuit is a transformer which is step down type. It changes the amplitude of the input voltage. Most of the electronic projects uses 230 or 12 volts transformer to step down the AC mains 230 volts to 12 volts AC supply. Next stage is a diode bridge rectifier which uses four or more diodes. It depending on the type of bridge rectifier. Next, choosing a particular diode or any other switching devices for a corresponding rectifier. It needs some considerations of the device like peak inverse voltage, forward current, IF, voltage ratings. It is the responsible for producing unidirectional or DC current at the load, conducting a set of diodes or every off cycle of the input signal. The output after the diode bridge rectifier is of pulsing nature. Next, for producing it as pure DC, filtering is necessary. Filtering is normally performed with one or more capacitors attached across the load. Capacitor rating also depends on the output voltage. The last stage of this regulator DC supply is voltage regulator. It maintains the output voltage to a constant level. A voltage regulator is necessary in bridge rectifier. Next, what are how bridge rectifier working and principle. A single phase bridge rectifier consists of four diodes and this configuration is connected across the load. During the positive off cycle of the input AC waveform, diodes D1 and D2 are forward biased and diode D3 and D4 are reverse biased. When the voltage more than the threshold level of the diodes, D1 and D2 starts conducting. The load current start flowing through it. Bridge during the negative off cycle of the input waveforms, the diodes D3 and D4 are forward biased and D1 and D2 are reverse biased. We can observe that in both the cases, the load current direction is same, that is unidirectional, which means DC current. Using bridge rectifier, the input AC current is converted into a DC current. The output at the load with this bridge wave rectifier is pulsing in nature, but for producing a pure DC requires additional filter like capacitor. The same operation is applicable for different bridge rectifier. In case of controlled rectifier, theorist triggering is necessary to drive the current to load. Next, advantages of bridge rectifier. The main advantage of this bridge rectifier is that it does not require special center tap transformer. Higher output voltage, higher output power, and higher transformer utilization factor, that is TUF, in case of full wave rectifier. Transformer utilization factor in case of bridge rectifier is higher than that of center tap rectifier. Next, what are the applications of the bridge rectifier? The main application of the bridge rectifier is to convert AC power to DC power. Because of their low cost compared to center tap, they are widely used in power supply circuit. This can be used to detect the amplitude of the modulated radio signal. Bridge rectifier can be used to supply polarized voltage in welding. Next, what are the disadvantages of the bridge rectifier? The main disadvantages of a bridge rectifier is that it needs four diodes. Total voltage dropped in diodes becomes double of that in case of center tapped rectifier. Losses are increased and rectification efficiency is somewhat reduced. Another disadvantages of bridge rectifier is that the load resistor, that is RL, and the supply source have no common point which may be earthed. Next, lastly, conclude about the bridge rectifier is from the bridge rectifier circuit diagram, we can conclude that the flow of current across the load resistor is equal to throughout the positive and the negative of cycle. The polarity of the output signal may be either totally positive or otherwise negative. In this case, it is totally positive. Thank you for watching my video. Please subscribe and like my video. Let's move on.